Today, we're going to talk about what to do if you experience some military medical malpractice. Now, we've all heard the jokes about seeing the corpsman because you broke your arm and being told to change your socks or just take some Motrin. While this is funny, there are unfortunately some real instances of medical malpractice in the military. Luckily, Constance Chen wrote a guest post for our blog on just this topic, and I thought it was valuable enough that I wanted to throw it on the teleprompter right here and make a video about it. According to a 2016 Johns Hopkins study, the top two leading causes of death in the US were heart disease and cancer. The third leading cause? Medical error. Right, so the report estimates that over 250,000 people die every year from medical error. Not only is the statistic horrifying, but the worst part about any sort of medical malpractice is that it's entirely preventable. But worse, people who suffer from medical malpractice injuries will deal with devastating long-term consequences. In many cases, victims of medical malpractice can choose to sue a medical practitioner for medical negligence. However, for anyone in the military, medical malpractice lawsuits are a little bit trickier. Service members dealing with military medical malpractice usually experience it in a military hospital. And since these are government-run hospitals, it would be a different situation if a military member wants to file a lawsuit against the government. All right, but first, how do you even define military medical malpractice? Well, this is when a doctor, nurse, or medical professional has been negligent, ends up causing injury to their patients. And for military members, this means that they may have received poor care from a medical professional of a military medical facility such as an army hospital. Military medical malpractice injuries could range from anything such as a doctor not providing enough care, which in turn leads to infection, or it could be a surgeon leaving behind instruments after surgery, or a situation where wrongful death occurred, right? It can get pretty bad. Incidents like this not only leave military members and their families with deep emotional trauma, but it can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars in the long run. Other examples of medical malpractice can include birth injuries, paralysis, cerebral palsy, damage to organs, muscle, nerve, ligaments or tissue, amputation, misdiagnosis, wrongful diagnosis, spinal injury, head injury, anesthesia errors, and just a whole lot more, right? So military members who want to sue the government, is it even possible, right, for military members to sue the government if they've experienced medical malpractice at a military hospital? Although there are some tricky things to sort through, yes, actually it is possible. Under the Federal Tort Claims Act, military service members as well as their family members who have experienced medical malpractice at a military hospital could file a claim or a potential lawsuit against the government. However, your case will probably need to be evaluated by a lawyer who's experienced with military medical malpractice cases. Most lawyers will need to prove that your injury or malpractice issue was caused by negligence from the medical professional at the military hospital. However, if the military members want to file a claim, they will have to do it within 2 to 3 years of their date of injury, since the FTCA statute of limitations is 3 years. So getting in contact with the right kind of lawyer will be the utmost importance. Now, how to save on costs when hiring a lawyer. For any military member who's thinking of pursuing action against the government, they should be mindful and realistic of the cost of a process, right? Like, it's not cheap. So hiring a lawyer can be expensive, I know that firsthand. And finding ways to cut costs will be beneficial for anyone who is hoping to pursue legal action. So you should find free consultations, right? Before you even file the paperwork, you should first have contact with a lawyer who could offer you a free consultation for your case to determine if you would be able to build a case from your circumstance. Many firms will offer this to help you understand the law and how it could pertain to your individual case. Now, free consultations will give you a chance to ask questions about your specific situation without being billed for a lawyer's time, which is nice. Ask about alternative billing methods too, which, another way to save costs is to ask about alternative billing methods. Many lawyers will require payments through an hourly fee, monthly retainer, or contingency fees. Take a percentage from your settlement should you win your case. If your lawyer agrees to it and determines that your case will not require too much time, then you can determine, if it's a flat fee, which would be the most beneficial for your situation. And also guarantee a certain number of hours. If you're able to guarantee this, then during the year to your lawyer, consider coming up with a flat fee or ask if your lawyer would be willing to negotiate a lower rate in exchange for guaranteed number of hours, right? Now, come prepared and organized. Time is money. If you spend more of your time with the lawyer chit-chatting or getting sidetracked, it's money out of your pocket. Instead, come prepared with all your unanswered questions and organize your paperwork so that you can get right down to business and save yourself money by saving the lawyer time. You should ask for itemized statements. So just as you have receipts showing you the breakdown of your purchase, ask your lawyer to provide itemized billing statements so you can have a clear picture of what the what services you're being charged for. This will give you a better understanding of where your money is going and a chance to reduce cost if there are any unnecessary charges in your statement. You should also find experienced lawyers for your case, right? So finally, to make sure that you hire the best lawyers, the most experienced for your type of case. It's an expensive mistake when you have to hire and then fire your lawyer, or if you end up losing your case because you have an inexperienced lawyer. Find the right attorney that has a proven record of success as well as years of experience. Now, there are other ways for military members to cut costs too. So in addition to cutting costs when hiring a lawyer, here are some other ways that you and your families can aim to cut costs when dealing with medical malpractice. The first is tax deduction. So victims of military malpractice may have had to make modifications to their home and car to cover other medical expenses that came with their malpractice injury. In many cases, these modifications are tax deductible. For example, if you had to remodel your home or car to add wheelchair ramps or alter the space to make it compatible for your injury or disability, these costs are tax deductible. Medical expenses such as prosthetics are also covered within medical expenses that are tax deductible. Now, free or recycled medical equipment, because medical equipment costs thousands of dollars, but fortunately there are various resources that offer opportunities for free or recycled medical equipment that could help with cutting costs. Low Income Relief is a site that lists some resources by each state, and the Press It On Center provides a search filter to help you find reusable assistive technology in your local region. So again, look to your community too. Finally, another way to cut costs is by finding community co-ops or services that offer shared free or recycled tools or resources. One site that does this is FreeCycle, which you can sign up for and you can join your local group to see if people in your neighborhood are giving something away or offering something. Many areas may also offer a community tool lending library where you can borrow tools or equipment as a way of communal sharing. So the last thoughts that I have, or that Constance has, on military medical malpractice, right? Military members who are dealing with this medical malpractice and are thinking of filing a claim against the government will need to sort through some complicated legal matters first. By consulting the right kind of attorney and finding a number of ways to reduce their costs, military members can navigate through their financial circumstances with more ease. All right, so this was a guest post that I thought was worth sharing. Obviously, it's always a little weird when I kind of read through a guest post like that. It's not my voice, but I thought that there was some good information in here. Hopefully none of you ever need to deal with this, but the sad reality is that some of you probably will. So I hope this helped. If you want to see the whole article, there'll be a link, I'll put it down below, but go check out the blog post, and you can find her contact info and ask more questions there. Make sure you subscribe and smash that like button. Have a great day.